I've never heard that like pronounced.
It's a new thing that I do.
Hey there. Welcome to the show, The Horrible Show. Video game podcast. HorribleNight.com.
So far.
Talking in short phrases on... It's Tuesday, April 16th, 2013. It's been a while
you
since...
sound like Mark Voorhees. What are you doing?
Oh, what's she up to these days? Or is that what you were asking?
No, he sounds like Lark Voorhees. Look up Lark Voorhees right now, and you will see what she's up to, and it's crazy.
Porn?
So I sounded crazy?
No. It's literally crazy. She's nuts.
Dropping Saved by the Bell knowledge on us, Ethan Moses.
Hey! Hey, guys! It's
And
good to see ya.
back on the Horrible Night podcast for the first time in a while, Josh Lee.
Yeah, I'll do anything for $1,000. Anything.
Good to know. I'm your host, Justin Lacey. We are coming at you live on Twitch TV/Horrible Night like we do every Tuesday night. So thanks for joining us for our podcasts. And
Yeah. Is there one? Didn't you? You did this last. Oh, well, it's been 2 weeks or something since you did this.
I haven't hosted from this studio for a while, so this was home.
You want me to do it?
I had to. I think everybody preferred.
Hey, welcome to the Horrible Show, HorribleNight.com, show about video game talk. He's your host, Justin Lacey.
We also had Ethan host at one point. That was kind of weird.
Not the Horrible Show.
No.
The wonderful show that is Super Game Best Friends.
Oh.
Man of
The
the year.
show, the host itself, actually, I mean, it didn't take much effort at all, really. I'm just saying. I mean, not talking quality or anything. It's just,
Okay.
it's more smooth.
Let's get it all out
Smooth.
of the system. What's been going on, Josh? As far as what have you actually been up to?
Besides meeting Colonel Quaritch himself, let's see. I'm still building my arcade machine.
How's that going?
I got some stuff done. You saw it when you walked in. You can't.
Saw a bunch of wood cut
I didn't see
into
it.
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, I chopped down some wood paper and glue fibers. It's MDF. It's not really wood. Although there's some pine in there too. Some like long, what do they call them? 2x2s. Not really 2 inches by 2 inches. Why do they even say that? I don't think they do that like everywhere else where they use metric. I think if it says like 12 millimeter, it's actually like 12 millimeter or whatever. Like I think so. Maybe I'm sure chat will tell me that I'm full of shit. So I got the machine modeled in SketchUp and took all my measurements from that. I know. I do a lot.
Gotta be a SketchUp pro here.
I know. I should. It's on my resume.
I was gonna say.
And I took all my measurements from there, and I've been cutting. I thought I was gonna need a circular saw to cut like long ass, like rip cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just using my jigsaw. But so this is funny. So I got some like because I knew jigsaw cuts like the blade can get wobbly on you. You can have problems, right? I mean, this is like my first like woodworking or whatever, So I went and got these like fancy like Bosch blades. They were like the good brand, and they're meant for super extra clean straight cuts on MDF. I'm like, yes, this is what I need. And I start using it, and I should have. This first mistake, though, I should have used like a scrap piece, but I didn't have one yet because I'm kind of using most of the stuff until I cut some stuff off.
Just enough.
Yeah,
get it right the first time.
Everything fit on 2 sheets of MDF, so I didn't have to get like a bunch of this. So I'm cutting, and the blade just, no matter what I do, what speed, anything, the blade would just go and bend in, and I wonked up a piece. So I got like the cheap blade that Jigsaw came with, and cutting straight cuts. I'm like, if I can do this stuff, like anybody can do it.
Anyone can do it.
Like Ethan,
I could do it.
Well,
I don't think he could cut straight anything.
No, like that's the thing.
I couldn't cut straight anything. I couldn't cut straight anything. It's a tough thing to do.
Well,
I was doing my Jigsaw impression, like Jigsaw from the movies, Saw, from the Saw movies. That was what I was doing. If you guys couldn't tell,
should have painted the little spiral things on the Dreamcast
Oh, was
logos
that-
on your
You
face.
love your life. So you respect your life. I'm going to put you in a cage. A cage is full of rats. The rats are on fire. You have to eat all the rats.
Cut the word straight and love your wife, or I cut off your feet.
I bet if you go to the video replay, you can see where Ethan's brain took a tangent from the first time you said Jigsaw.
Everything else is gone. So, anyways, yeah. So after that mistake, replaced it with like cheap generic Black and Decker blade, and it's perfect, perfectly straight every single cut. No matter what I do, I can't mess it up. I'm like, what the hell?
Where'd you get your like plans from?
So I think I've maybe mentioned this before, but I'm using the design from Koenigs.dk, KOENIGS.dk. It's a dude who has like 6 maybe designs up there. I think he's got another one that he's working on. He hangs out in the arcadecontrols.com forums, and real like tons of info, and it's pretty good. I had to convert measurements from metric to standard,
America.
Yeah. But that's easy to do in SketchUp, actually. So, yeah, did that, and I haven't settled on the name, the artwork, and all that stuff yet, despite our awesome brainstorming from everyone last time.
I think we should have a second round after the show.
Although currently the forerunner is still Alan Stevenson's Magical Adventure Box. Thank you, Ethan, I think. Also, Dave's Friendship Bus is pretty good. Yeah, so I pretty much the wood cutting and stuff is done, and I need to assemble it all, which is gonna be fun, and then wire everything up and paint it, and so there's actually there's a decent amount of work still, but once I can do all that, like get to the point where I can just do everything indoors, I'm gonna do way better, because just right now it's just constantly threatening rain, and like one drop of water in an MDF, and it's like a what are the little things you put in water and they whoop and they grow real big?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, the little dinosaur eggs.
Dinosaur sponges, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, that's
sponges.
cool. Those are real cool. I like those.
You
Build one of those.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just can't
I'm
wait.
okay with that.
I can't wait to see how much faster you build mine after you get through this one.
I thought about maybe I should just do 2 of everything. Like if for nothing else, I could just build a second machine and sell it. But surely somebody would want to. I didn't ask anyone if they wanted to go in on this with me to help out or whatever and build their own at the same time. But I should have. I thought of it, didn't do it.
Well, it was kind of weird. You started this right at the time where my office, we just got our
I would ask you
custom,
about that.
Custom machine. The development team I work on, they made a HTML5 game a while back for Microsoft, and they were touring that game around and its own arcade machine, and so we got our own version of that arcade machine finally. Now that the game's kind of done touring, and so we've put MAME stuff in it, and we have weekly arcade challenges on the machine, but it was just kind of like, I had been around refurbished arcade machines, but just to see like a nice custom built one from scratch for what you're like I was like, no, I actually want one of those in my home.
Is it 2-player or 4-player?
It's 2-player.
Cool.
Yeah, 2-player, only 3 buttons, and then but yeah, we've been playing all kinds of classic stuff, so it's pretty cool. What else been going on game industry wise for you?
Wait, are these shout outs? What are you asking for?
Yeah, I'm doing this. Oh, the illusion is gone.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know what game, like who, no one says that in normal conversation. Like, so what's been going on with you gaming? Like, well, I don't really work in there.
How are your game industry shout outs going this week?
You introduced that in an awkward way. That was awkward. I didn't know how to respond because you set it up. So what's?
Next
let me
time
tell
I'll
you.
go, can you read? What's the next note on your
Just
list?
do this. Point at the segment 2.
Pause.
Please insert second disc. Okay, I want to give a shout out. This is, and I've been playing this game kind of thing, but I can't wait till next week. One late night. Okay, let me tell you where this started. I was playing some Slender, the new one. The Slender.
Where's that available?
Arrival.
Where do you get that?
SlenderTheArrival.com. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Slender Game.
If it's not on,
SlenderTheGame.com.
If it's not on Steam, I get really confused.
Yeah.
It's like, where's
I think it's
video
in Greenlight.
games?
I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it's been green light yet.
yeah,
but
you
I'm pretty
can-
sure it's in green light.
Yeah, you can buy it. Desura might have it. Desura seems to get
I
that
think
stuff
Desura
first.
does.
A lot of it does, but you can get it directly from people. So, okay, so that's cool. That's pretty cool. That's not the same as the 8 pages one. I mean, you still go pick up the 8 pages, but that's like chapter 1 of 5 chapters. And the graphics are way better. The atmosphere is really good. And it was I go in, I know what's up. I've seen some of it in action, and it still freaks me out. I am just a huge puss when it comes to these games. And yeah, I mean, there a couple of lights were on in here. And and I was still pooping. So, for some reason, then I was looking at other horror games.
Okay.
I don't know why do I punish myself, right? Like, oh, it may be a different one is gonna help. So I get on to, I can't remember, maybe it was like something Awful Forums or Reddit or something like that. I don't know where. It was a like a horror games thread, and people are just throwing out suggestions and a bunch of like RPG Maker games, like horror games, and like that's not. I mean, that's cool, but that's not what I was really looking for. And somebody had suggested this one late night, and it's by Black Curtain Studio. And I don't know nothing about them. If there's one person or 10, I have no idea. But they put out some games for like I don't know what these things are called, but like the little knockoff handhelds that I don't even know what operating system they run. Not Android stuff. I mean, I think it's like the GP Whiz kind of stuff or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, they're for the Leapfrog and the Tiger LCDs as well. They make games for that, but they didn't have any mention of this on their site. So, but it was on moddb.com where they have all their feedback and stuff. So, this is important later because if you get stuck, you need to go there for help. Don't come to me because I'm probably not going to finish this. So, onelatenight.com. If you go there, download the game. It's totally free. Grab the DX11 one if you can, but they have like an x86 version and then a DirectX 9 version. Don't watch the trailer and don't read anything online unless you absolutely just totally get stuck. This is a first-person horror game based on the idea of so pretend you are this guy's like a graphic designer or anybody that's ever worked in an office building. And after, like, late at night, you're the last one there when it freaks you out, right? Like, if you think about it. If you think about it too much and you're just like, what would happen if this is a perfect setup for, if someone was going to kill me, this would be the time to do it. I mean, well, besides pooping, this would be the fourth most vulnerable time to attack someone is like late at night, you're tired, you're at your desk, what's going to happen? So this, these folks, dude, chick, whatever, came up with this idea of I don't want to give it away, but it's a kind of a traditional horror theme that you've seen in movies and stuff like that. But in this setting, it is very unique, and it is really, really unnerving.
Yes.
Great little scares, lots of jump scares and stuff that you would kind of expect, but you're just totally defenseless. There's you can hide. You can hide under desks or behind corners and stuff like that. And but it's kind of, the controls are kind of wonky, but it almost like makes it just that much more tense because you're not sure, like you gotta just be in the right spot in order to go and hide under stuff. And lots of little secret things. There's computers that you like to save your game. You log into a computer and you have to like log in as the user and type save and stuff, and you can read text files and stuff on the computer. It's got like a full console that you can use, text parser and stuff, which is I played
a little bit of this.
Commands.
You sent it to me last night. I played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it really, I don't know why that was scarier to me than some of the other stuff we've played.
I know, like there's something about that setting where it's just like it's, the lights are on, you're in this office, but like the copy machine comes on, starts printing stuff out that nobody in that office sent to the printer. Like what the hell? They use all of the things in the objects in that office environment really well. So the stuff that can mess with you by like what would like a poltergeist do or whatever, I guess. But
Yeah.
there's something
I
at
didn't
some
hit
point that
print.
shows up that comes after you to try to kill you, and it's like when that happens, you gotta find a place to hide. And the last time I had played before I shut it off, that was the first time I'd actually died. Because up to that point, I just, I was getting away. I was thought there was times where I could have died. I'm not even sure if it was possible, but I ran and hid anyways. But this one time, something was after me, and I knew. I went immediately to the closest room that I knew to. I don't know. There's a reason why it's after you, I think, but I don't know exactly yet, but I can take a guess. And I end up going to this room to hide. And the game just would not recognize me clicking in the hide thing, and that kind of was frustrating. But it also made for a great moment of it was the first time I saw the thing up close, because I'm sitting there, I knew it was coming, and I knew it was like down the hall around the corner, and I immediately went into this little like janitor's closet, and I go up behind this like bookshelf or this shelving unit, and I'd already done this like 5 times before because I got scared and there was nothing there. And I would go to the hide, and I'm just clicking on it. I'm looking at it. The little hide icon pops up. I'm clicking. I'm like, go. Why isn't it hiding? Why isn't it hiding? And it's taking way too long. And I'm like, oh, man, I wonder if it is getting close. And I turned to my left, and it was just waiting for me. And then it boom, and it made it sound, and it zooms in and whatever. And it's not like the visual of this thing is crazy.
I mean, the graphics in this
it's the fact that you are helpless and there's something coming after you. And that's what games like Slender and Clock Tower and games like that, that's kind of what they hang their hat on, is like that. Here's this thing, there's something coming in to kill you, and you can't kill it. Like you can't defend yourself. You just have to go and hide or run. And there's no way to the front door and the fire escape are both locked in this game. Like you can't leave. And the other thing is, like, some stuff will be different, or you'll go in. Like, there were times where I didn't know how to progress in this game. And it was like,
I've had that.
Like, what do I do? And I just kind of walked around a little bit, and all of a sudden, like, oh, the phone's ringing.
But I didn't want to walk around.
I don't want to answer that. You have to.
I was like, I'm just gonna go.
Why is a red balloon hanging or floating in that room? Like,
I just want to go back to my office and just wait till the sun rises. Is that how you play this game? Because that's all I really wanted to do.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I'm going to lock my door. I'm going to pick up my jacket. I'm going to put it over my head. So, because if you can't see the boogeyman, he can't see you. And I'm going to get under this desk. I'm going to take a nap. Put some headphones on or something.
That's a different game.
Listen to Huey Lewis. So, everybody that likes horror games needs to go play this. It's totally free. And there's a sequel in the works. I saw this on the Facebook page, and it's going to take place in that office building, and it's called Deadline, and it's going to have I don't know, like 6 floors or something. But I mean, I like this because it's kind of confined. There's only like 8 rooms or something. But
how about Game Jam? They did like a group one where the group was haunted.
Oh.
Somebody should make that out of Game Jam.
Yeah, okay, sure. What are you asking me? I can't make this.
You don't think it's a good idea?
Sure.
I'm just bouncing ideas.
Sure.
That's what we do here, right? We're making game ideas.
Yeah, I mean, we do that a lot. Mm-hmm. None of them have been created because none of us know how to make games. Well, most of us don't. Some of us.
What about
some of us, though?
He's not paying attention. What? Ethan's still here.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Speaking of Ethan, is there anything on Horrible Night that you like? Have you been to the site?
Ethan Moses.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and nominate him right now for Man of the Year 2013. Or can we do like a 12-13 and do it like you would like sports or school, like so it'll be from like.
Oh sure.
It'll just
Man
be
of
like
the Year 12. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
sure.
For the 2012-2013 season. Okay. Because it's like he just is a workhorse, and it's like for a dude who, I mean, like I'm in the situation now that Ethan has been in basically, and he's just way more productive than I am, way more productive, and I don't know where it comes from. He's just like that kind of motivation. So awesome, and he writes awesome crap for 2 sites, and I'm like, how the hell? And He filled in for me last week hosting Super Game Best Friends, and he wore a tie. Regardless of the actual performance, the tie would just, it showed that he cared. And so I really appreciated him stepping in like a true bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Out.
Do you want to thank anybody, Ethan?
Everyone. I want to thank, who would I thank the most? Probably me, because I made this happen. So I'm going to go ahead and thank myself for that.
That's good. Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah.
Ethan, tell me some stories.
I went to a jazz show this weekend.
What's a jazz show?
I got drunk on accident.
Jazz or Jash? It sounded like you said Jash.
Jash. It's like jazz, but it's like jazz and reggae. No, jazz.
Okay. All right. No, I didn't know. Like, you're Germany. I don't know what they have.
Yeah, my accent has changed over times. Where Z's go, I'm putting SH now. It's a weird thing. I went to a jazz show. Yeah, it was fun. Had some beers. And some dude yelled at me. And then we left. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
What did he
It
say?
wasn't too bad. It was, I
I
don't
was
know.
yelling at him with a
He said
trumpet.
something.
In German? Or something you don't want to repeat?
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't repeat it. It wasn't very nice.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't very nice. And I was assured by everybody that was attending that he had no reason for doing that. He was just in an angry mood. So, being the guy that I am, I confronted him. I said, "Excuse me, sir. That was really rude of you." And he goes, he thought I was going to punch him. I don't punch people. I'm a nice guy. And I go, "I just wanted to tell you that there's a better way you could have handled that. Good evening." And I left.
I love it.
So I don't know if it translated fully, but it did in my heart. I felt pretty good. I usually just go like, "Oh, someone's being an asshole to me, whatever," but not anymore, dude. No assholes 2013. That's the new thing. That's my new trend. There's too many assholes in the world. You just realize that. And not even entertaining assholes. There's just too many assholes. Everybody wants to be an asshole now. I'm not gonna let it happen. We all need to be bros and friends and lovers if need be. I don't know,
I think
No more assholes.
I agree, and I believe we
NMA.
all feel like the internet has gotten progressively worse at that too, where everyone's inner asshole can just kind of come out, unfiltered. Well, maybe that'll be like maybe that's what we'll do is like somebody's being an ass, and you just like send them to the internet. Be like, hey, you're gonna be like that? Go to the internet.
Go to the internet
now.
Yeah.
I saw randomly, like, I was reading up on a bunch of Dota stuff and how Valve is always trying to figure out what to do with these asshole players. It might not even been Valve. I don't remember what game it was, but how to ban people, and they were talking about putting people on jail servers, like internet jail.
Huh.
that concept came up.
Now,
like,
see, if they just now hold up, though,
Internet
because
jail
in real
does not have
jail,
porn.
you put all those people together, and they just they form their own society, basically, that's like separate kind of thing, and I don't think that's going to like curb the behavior. They need to be subjected to like worse behavior than they themselves would normally like commit. So you would essentially have to, I guess, not physically but mentally beat them like with real personal insults. So you almost need like people whose jobs like they're dedicated to like stalking them online and figuring out like personal details in order to say like bad things about like their family and stuff like that.
who assholes the assholes?
Yeah. Well, I'll do it.
There's like a supervisory board of assholes that oversee all of these other assholes to make sure that these assholes aren't getting out of line.
It's like we need
uppity
we need
assholes.
we need like a Batman for assholes. Like
It's
the
like
guy
an
who
action
just
movie.
the
It's like
no one's gonna like him, but he's got to get that
Isn't
job done.
Isn't that the Punisher?
I was gonna say I would have gone.
Well,
with Punisher
he's
on
not.
that one.
No, because he's no.
Okay.
Because Batman goes like that extra mile. His whole thing is like it's instilling fear into people that instill fear into like the populace. It's like he is the guy who is the bad guys are scared of. The Punisher, like you don't even know, you're just dead. You just something like you're just at a party and then like you blow up. Like it's different. Like Punisher isn't gonna like come and scare the shit out of you and then let you live. Like he will just shoot you in the face. So no, it's not like the Punisher.
I was thinking you were going in the direction of those movies where it's like this team of bank robbers are the best we've ever seen. No, we have someone better. And they bring in a bank robber that they caught. And they're like, look, bank robber, we need you to rob these bank robbers. And it never makes any sense. But that's what I thought you were going with.
Heat
Like
2.
Nicolas Cage
Heat
and Con
back.
Air. You know, like,
They're bad guys, but he's also a bad guy, but kind of a good guy too. Well, no, he's actually a good guy. He's just really misunderstood.
Yeah.
This is a really long trailer.
see you at the movies.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. We just got that's the only way to have. So what's Valve do with these people on these jail servers?
I just heard the concept of internet jail or jail server, and I thought that was funny. That was all.
It would turn into Escape from New York or Escape from LA, but like an internet version of it. That could be bad.
That means someone needs to be sent in to retrieve something.
Maybe somebody with an eye patch, Maybe what they need to send in is someone who's been there. Again, it's a fucking bank robbers against bank robbers thing again.
Snake Plissken wasn't a bank robber, was he?
No, he was a bad. He was rough around the edges. He wasn't a bad guy. He was rough around. I'm thinking of Sean Connery and The Rock. Maybe that's what I.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The only one
Absolutely.
to get out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in a way, like Hannibal Lecter was kind of used like that in
Yep,
the later
exactly.
stories. So yeah, I guess that's sure. It's an effective tactic. I don't know why Valve's not doing that. Let's just stick them all together. What the hell? They're just going to multiply.
Yeah.
No, you got to.
Does Gabe have an eye patch? He's got the knives.
Oh my
Is he never bad song?
Oh, just give Gabe an hour with these guys in his office. They'll be just flayed open. You'll hear screams. They'll be like wishing for like Pinhead to come save them. I mean, this is
Cheating's way
not
down.
where you want to
Dota.
be. Oh yeah, yeah. Like we flew some gamers out to Valve
Oh, yeah.
for Dota. They're like, oh, that's cool. Valve, they'd always listen to the gamers. No, to punish them. They were bad. He wanted to hear what they had to say, and by that we mean he wanted to hear their screams.
Valve has its own penal system.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a much
is
bigger
is
campus.
Dota as
Penile
bad
system.
as
Filet.
League of Legends?
Say what?
Do we know? Is Dota as
No
bad
way.
as League of Legends?
No way. There's 100 times more players in League. That means there's 100 times more assholes, right?
assholes.
The math adds up. Asshole math.
Flood of assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering because I got gifted a copy of Dota 2, but probably by an asshole that wants me to go and deal with the assholes, and I'm going to
Actually,
try it
I
out
think-
tomorrow, I believe.
I think we're gonna be the assholes.
Are we going to be the assholes? Okay.
Oh shit!
Let's do it.
You know what? I actually needed an eye patch the other day. Kylie had she had something wrong with her eye, and she just needed to have something over. I couldn't find an eye patch like here.
Pharmacy.
I know, but like in my home, I should have more eye patches than the pharmacy. Like I have so many eye patches from. I mean, just like if I see an eye patch, I'm going to buy one.
You have like
I
a
have
room
none.
like in Men in Black where you hit a button and all like the doors open up and
I
there's just
wish.
shelf after shelf of like eye patches.
No, I was thinking
that,
one of those.
That would be incredible.
One of
That's
those
my
like
next project.
he's got an eye patch rack that's on a motor, so it's just he has to wait for
An eye of iPads.
of eye patches.
Oh, like gee, wow! I'm not rich here. Jeez.
Designer eye patches. What about video games, Ethan?
Wait, they have those on Etsy.
What video? What?
Ethan and I
Where?
were looking up cyborg eye patches, and there are
yeah,
so
shit.
many custom eye patches on Etsy. And we found like a really really cool cyborg one. It looked like 80s sci-fi. Like it wasn't just an eye patch. It also had like a laser thing and like a thing that went down the. It was awesome.
It looked good. Well, I mean, games. Speaking of laser eyes, it's been Blood Dragon Fever on the site for the last
Oh my god.
4 days. And the funny thing is, and I don't want
What's
to go
the
into too
cure?
much detail about the trailer because I wrote an article about my excitement over it, but the fact of how well Blood Dragon is being received by most everybody. I mean, I expected people to be like, oh, yeah, cash in. No, dude. I think every 30-year-old gamer just came out of the woodwork. They haven't said anything for a while. They've let the young kids curse and say, sexist things. Now the gentlemen have come in. The gentlemen have come up and they've said, thank God.
Yes. Yeah, and Michael Bihn's performance.
Oh.
I mean, he sounds.
How Cyber Commandos get it done.
I said it like the first thing I said. I'm talking to Ethan online, and I said, "Ethan, Michael Biehn is doing his impression of you, doing an impression of like a tough guy. Like is what it sounds like. I got a bone for Biehn. I swear that guy is he's like the greatest actor that never did shit after like his 15 minutes. I feel like. I mean,
I wonder what
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, but he's not. They're not good roles for him.
Aliens.
Right.
He was in Abyss.
Yeah. But it just goes like down from there. He was in The Rock too, right? What doesn't he like lead some dudes and die in that? Wasn't he part of the rescue team? Didn't he lead the rescue team going?
Yeah,
in?
he did lead the rescue team, and they didn't make it.
And they died in the whatever that room was. They had Ed Harris had it from above, and we know that having the height advantage. Is that how Anakin got chopped up by Obi-Wan, or did he? It was the other way around. That's a problem with the prequels. They didn't watch The Rock. You know the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
when
I
you
saw
got Ed Harris above you. You just.
I know. Yeah. But the most recent thing I saw him in, The Divide, he was great. Like he was fantastic. The guy, he can actually, he can play certain characters really, really well. And I just feel like he's been underutilized. I'm really glad that he took this job and he is going like all in. Like he's hilarious.
I just love the fact that you can see this divide between the ages where people will say, "Who's Michael Biehn?" and like 17 people fucking just immediately, what you don't know, it's like I mean, again, now that he's come back, I'm hoping maybe Michael Dudikoff makes his comeback of American Ninja fame.
We know. All right, Mike. Oh man, Dudikoff. There's a lot of folks who just were trapped, I think, in the 80s, and I feel like Hollywood didn't let them out.
I feel like they didn't want to get out. I felt like they liked what they did in the 80s, and they said, "We're done."
No. Movies weren't as cool, and if you're not making cool movies, how are you gonna have jobs for cool guys?
Yeah.
And cool chicks. Cynthia Rothrock, where'd she go? You know what I mean? Like it's not even a guy thing.
It's deep, man.
It's awful. But Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Doing God's work.
Why does it exist? Like, as far as
why doesn't it?
I mean, it's awesome, but how did this happen? I know.
There's going on at
Ubisoft.
French Canadians.
You know how it happened?
They're way cooler than we thought.
Should do?
Like, we haven't figured out DLC, like single player DLC. What do we do? Do we just add another island to Far Cry 3? Well, no.
You could. I don't know. I feel like they had to have, because I saw like the two people that complained about it were like, "Well, I want more Far Cry 3. I want a new island." It was like that would have been boring. Like you got through that experience. This is going to be in your face, over the top, and I think this sets a good precedent for companies with DLC or expansions or whatnot to say, "Fuck the storyline, dudes. We did it. We're fine. We don't need to continue with that. Let's do something far out as shit and not just add zombies into it." Or something else like that. Let's just fucking go nuts, And it was almost kind of bad because Saints Row 3, which started out nuts, couldn't go any nutser. You know what I mean? So you come in tame, real tame. Okay,
yeah,
So it's like Call of Duty went from
not
like
too
Call
tame.
of Duty.
I mean,
to
I was killing sharks with my knife, and I mean, it's not.
You can do that in real life, dude. I saw a guy do it. His name was Richard.
I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I made that up. The name Richard, if I ever say the name Richard, unless you actually know a guy named Richard and I know him too, it's a lie name. That's a lie story name.
You're going to meet a Richard one day, and you're going to say, I can't know you.
He'll be amazing, too. He'll do all this crazy stuff. Hey, Ethan, come over here. Check out these new bongos I just made out of the ivory of an elephant. And I'll be like, that's amazing. It's illegal as shit, dude. You shouldn't do that because they're almost extinct. But I want to tell people, but I can't because they won't believe me because I just said Richard's a fake name.
I think ivory bongos is a fake thing, too.
Yeah, I think so.
Ivory Bong
Yeah.
though is real.
Good.
Thank God.
Thanks, internet.
No, I think it's. I was reading some quote recently that said, a story's only good once, but good gameplay kind of it lasts forever, and that if you've got basically the ultimate playground right now of Far Cry 3, and you can put this skin on it and this ridiculous story to get me to play that again. I love like seeing the Far Cry 3 within all of this ridiculousness. I kept getting it, like got a big kick out of it, and I think this is genius that like if these expansions now are more fresh skins or a fresh take on sound gameplay, like why
right,
not?
like,
why
you
aren't
don't
we,
care what the setting is if
Yeah.
the game's fun.
Why aren't
so
we getting
might as
more
well,
of this?
Yeah, it's like let's do something.
and the fact that it's
stupid with it.
standalone, that they're gonna and it's just released as a digital download. I think it's fucking genius.
Ubisoft wins. I think this one.
Got to cheer for somebody. So
I'm trying to find out who else is in this. Like, do you know who's playing Spider? His buddy.
I don't know, but I was kind of disappointed it wasn't Carl Weathers, though. I will say.
I
that.
know, but then they did the Predator 5.
They did do
What do they call that thing? It's not a 5. It's not a high 5 at that point. It's more of a.
It's like like a real firm handshake that just kind of lingers.
But it's like
I don't think that's what
almost
called,
the
but-
test of strength at that point too. You know.
Oh yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I did appreciate your detailed breakdown of the highlights of the trailer.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Well
Like, you
done.
don't like we went out to dinner that night, and I just kept like I was like looking off into the
Commando ship.
distance, and Aubrey was like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? Are you okay?" I was like, this fucking trailer, Aubrey, like it was awesome. It was everything that I've ever wanted in a trailer." And then I showed it to her, and she was thinking like maybe it's like, oh, maybe this is something like amazing, because I couldn't describe it. Words couldn't describe it properly. And I showed her the trailer, and her jaw just dropped. And I was like, "You like it?" She was like, "You're a fucking idiot." And what the? That is why you were quiet through dinner? I was thinking it was like something poetic.
That's awesome.
How about on Horrible Night, Ethan?
Oh, you guys did I don't know if we really talked about the PC podcast too much. But,
What'd you guys think of that? Cole and I.
I just think, I won. You guys did a good job of talking about that for that whole time. That was impressive.
Josh, not so
But I
impressed.
think,
Well,
and then I'm just glad everyone's on PC, man. Like I just feel I feel like we haven't played as many games together as we could, and now there's no excuse. There's nothing holding us back. The virginity of our PC gaming has been puckered. Is that what you do? You pucker it? You pop it. You popped it. We
I was
popped
gonna
the
say, I
cherry.
think this
of
was
our-
like my
we can have
third-
sex. What I'm trying to say is we can have sex now.
I think this was like my third virginity on my PC. Doesn't that work after a while if you're taking a break?
You can have a faith healer restore your virginity back
Okay,
to you.
I think that's
so
what
yeah,
happened.
yeah, that's it. They have surgery. They can do things.
No, but
Or I could do it with a thread and needle. Anyways.
it took on that podcast was fun. One, just to have Cole back on the show because we hadn't been on a while, but we are amateur PC builders at best.
Yeah.
And
At best.
talking through some of our ups and downs of building the machine, and then the highs of finally testing it out. But I did get a real big kick out of picturing him. Neither one of us had the right tools for the job, and
Hands.
I really struggled to connect some of the wires from the case to the motherboard.
No, really, you don't use any tools for that.
And with my hands, and then trying to picture Cole's giant Brumac hands.
I assumed he had like a small creature that would get inside for him and to help him out. Like there has to be something that helps him. Like a little, like one of those little things from the gate, maybe. I don't know.
Oh shit! Steven Dorff like a motherfucker, man. Great movie. Go watch The Gate now.
Yeah.
Stop watching what we're doing right now. Watch The Gate.
I think it's on Netflix.
it was the movie that never ended. It just kept
No.
going.
Is
That
that
was a
the-
long ass movie.
It also,
Is that the Johnny Depp?
I use that for like, Mom, I need to get some fireworks. You never know when we'll need it. Hey, what? Hey, that we don't have to get those. I mean, I would end up getting poppers and snakes, but Well, yes, that's yep.
We've all been playing Defiance quite a bit on PC. Did any of you guys check out the show?
I only saw that first 15-minute thing. I haven't seen the full. Yeah, Amazon Instant Prime or whatever had it. All you had to do was just continue watching the 15-minute preview. It was the whole episode, like a week and a half early, and then I found this out and went, "Oh man, I'm going to check that out tomorrow."
And took it down.
They took it. Yeah, they completely removed it. So I only saw the 15-minute thing.
Ethan, did you watch it?
But it was hilarious.
Nope.
Are you planning on watching
access.
it? Okay.
I'll, if we can figure it out.
I believe Sci-Fi's website.
Did you guys see it?
I believe Sci-Fi's website is playing it. I watched it. I have no idea how to judge a single episode of a new science fiction show because it's just so much to introduce, and I also don't have the highest expectations. I was entertained, but I was also really entertained by Caprica, and that didn't.
I was really impressed by the effects, and some of them were just meh, but the the face of Nolan's daughter, some of that's prosthetics, but real eyes aren't that big. Like that had to be CG eyes. I was like, wow, those look real.
I really hope you set that up just so you can say that, but I know you're being honest. No, I like
2 days been sitting on that.
I mean, I feel after watching the first episode, I feel much better about the whole Defiance universe. I better understand stuff because the game doesn't explain shit, and honestly, the show doesn't really explain it till the end of the episode. But it's like I want to say it was like an hour and a half. I think it was the premiere. Wasn't a full 2 hours, but it was all right. It has promise.
But they're definitely going to do a full season, right? They're not doing like a trial run.
I don't know.
Didn't they say we're doing a? I mean, they could always go back on it, I guess, because they don't order that stuff if it's their own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it's like another company that's a pilot.
I mean, Sci-Fi's got to be pretty behind it. I wouldn't think they wouldn't go in for at least 12 episodes or whatnot. I don't really dig the main guy because he's supposed to be.
I like his in-game character better. I think. I wish Black Sheriff had been the main guy, but that you can't get.
Oh
everything.
my god, he is awesome. Is he a part of that show at all?
Does he show up?
I don't think so because it's all
still in San Francisco.
The game's mainly in San Francisco, and the show is in St. Louis. So
St. Louis, yeah, that's right. Shit.
And I didn't play enough of the game to know where the tie-in was. I know there were a couple missions that expired before the show went live, so I can only.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we'll be on the lookout.
Did we
for
finish?
those.
Did we finish them? We finished them, right?
I thought we did, didn't we?
What was the last one that you do? What happens in the last?
It's with the dude and the chick.
Yeah.
I hope so.
What's her name?
That's poop.
It didn't.
That they would get rid of him.
The show didn't have any big. It didn't have any big lows, but it didn't have any kick ass or really high moments either. The best thing I can say coming out of it was the chick that plays the mayor, who was Julie Benz, who was also in Dexter. I hated her in Dexter. I actually liked her character in this one, so that was.
She's one of the alien people, right?
No, she's human.
Is she bald?
No, I don't know which alien race that is. But yeah, the bald aliens are really funny.
I'm getting the show and the game mixed up.
Yeah,
because the
Julie
quality
Benz,
level is exactly the same.
Julie
on
Benz,
the writing.
Yeah. But that's
how often do they say Stocko?
Oh man!
And there's another one. It's
Jack. Is it Jack?
Nah, yeah, there's another one with an S. I think it's really dumb.
The Stocko count was at least at half a dozen.
So
my God,
they.
so dumb.
That's up there with the dumbest. Farscape was dumb as well. They have Pharrell, Frelling limit. That was dumb. Frack was good. Battlestar did a pretty good job. Stocko, nope.
So I'm gonna keep trying to watch it. We'll see. I don't know if I necessarily like the game or the show, but I like the idea of something like this succeeding. I don't know why. I think it's interesting. The whole show supporting the game and vice versa. But and the game's fun. The gameplay. See, the thing is, the gameplay is fun when it comes down to it. And Defiance, just kind of messing around in the world is fun.
Yes. The game is super generic, but it's actually really fun. I keep going back to it, and I still don't have like a lot of like really nice things to say about most aspects of the game, except that I keep having fun. So, although I'm sure that we're going to burn through that content pretty fast, so that actually the weekly episode stuff is going to help, and they're going to add. I guess they have some bigger plans for adding stuff, but I feel like this was seemed like kind of a soft rollout.
Ethan, I know we definitely have fun co-op. Have you played much of Defiance by yourself? Is it fun solo?
Yeah, I played a lot of it, and I think co-op is where it's at. I mean, I played with a couple people I didn't know, and I tried to get through some of the missions because Josh and I found a gigantic robot, and I wanted to see what the fuck that robot was all about.
Oh, we did it. That's a different. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to.
I literally tuned into your live stream as you guys were just getting obliterated by the giant robot. It's pretty funny.
Well, there was a lot. That was an hour thing. Yeah.
There was a valiant effort of us trying to game the system and to get past a point that we shouldn't have been in the first place. But no, I think content-wise, it's just really weird because you're right. You know, the gameplay is really solid. I thought it was a game that you were going to sit and play like 4 to 5 hours at a time. You know, kind of like MMOs and whatnot. Yeah. It's short spurts, really. That's the best way to get in there. Get on your ATV, drive around, hit a couple ramps, shoot a couple baddies, and then be like, okay, I'll see you guys next week.
Didn't really notice a lot of ATVs in the on the show. They had like the runners, which were like more like caged. They're like bigger than the ATVs, and they were caged. And then I saw a lot of motorcycles, but not ATVs.
Well, that's weird. Because what about Challengers?
No.
But the guy's Jeep is a Dodge, though.
Is it?
I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was looking at it. That's all I cared about. Like watching. And again, I didn't see the whole pilot, but I'm like, oh, sweet. They start out, and he's driving a truck. I'm like, yes, this is very accurate. Like, the game is very accurate to the show. I'll say, though, that I find myself jumping on for MMO-style sessions where, you know you're just going to be playing by yourself. You're just going to knock out a couple little quests. I've done that, and it's been pretty good. The cool thing about having so many of those missions be in the normal open world where other people are hanging out is like they never get in the way, but most of the time they end up being kind of helpful because like a lot of times I get in a situation where like, oh crap, this is maybe I'm not in a ton of danger necessarily, but I just don't want to slog through a million guys. That's okay because someone just showed up in in a truck and they're running stuff over and they're shooting stuff. And they're helping me get through it. And I don't have to talk to them. I don't have to, say thanks or whatever. It's just we're
not like chat. Does chat work
killing
now?
Stuff. Yeah. If you have, okay. So they may have fixed it since the last time I looked at it because I haven't really paid that much attention. But if you had voice, the always on voice thing, turned on, then the chat was working.
Oh, that was and we always turned that off. So
yeah,
that was why.
Yeah.
It was, okay.
But I have actually talked to people before, but
I'm still keeping an eye on all Defiance. So
biggest problem with that game is they removed some of the vehicles from the beta, and they have not added them back in. And we're missing out on some trucks, like real trucks, because they're technically you can't get a truck right now. You cannot buy a truck. You can get a couple different kinds of cars and a couple different kinds of ATVs, but you can't actually like buy your own truck yet. And that is a big problem for I have an issue with that. The Challenger is fun. You can ramp a lot of stuff with it. You can take it places it's not supposed to go, and that's fine. But it's like, there needs to be a short, long part in the back and a little cab that sticks up in the front. And if I don't have that soon, I'm probably going to stop playing.
Okay. Hopefully that gets patched in for you. I got excited by the promise of a new pinball table.
What?
Stern is working on
a real one. Oh,
a Metallica pinball table.
Oh, what the?
So when I was talking about the Louisville Arcade Expo, like I said, the pinball table there that had the longest line was the
AC/DC one?
AC/DC.
Yeah.
So they're doing that treatment for Metallica.
Oh my god.
There's a trailer for it. It's terrible trailer. I don't know. Like
Windows Movie Maker.
Terrible. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to try to cut a trailer for a table that is in a pinball table that is in progress. So it was just like the generic interview with James Hetfield. It was like, getting the official Metallica pinball table. Yeah! And
yeah. How many times did he say yeah in the trailer for the
let him say it
pinball?
once. Let him say it once.
But he says it.
Yes.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
But he says it.
And then it was like, here are all the titles of all the songs that are going to be featured on the table, and then some behind-the-scenes stuff. But, yeah, Coop and I saw the trailer, and we're like, so if we could technically probably split this, right? We don't both need to own this table, but woo!
Does it look like 80s, 90s,
It's everything.
early 90s Metallica,
I mean,
or is it? I mean,
anything.
Does it say Saint Anger real big across the top or something?
I mean, they have enough of a PR group to know that they focus on the.
Well,
80s,
yeah, but
the 80s,
Metallica,
90s.
you know how they are, because
like
they'll be like, no, this is what we.
The big
control.
element on the table is a dude in the electric chair from Ride the Lightning. That's like the big featured piece that
All right.
that
Okay.
they focus on.
Okay,
So.
that's
Oh,
fine.
it's cool.
Does the Master
excited
of Puppets show up?
I'm sure.
You know what? This shit that's popping into my head right now is stuff that you couldn't do on a real table. And that's... Zen has done this to me. They made digital pinball better than real pinball in my head.
Right.
I'm not saying it's in my head. At least I'm just glad somebody's making tables. Like if Stern wasn't around...
Yeah. So
I mean, who else is making pinball machines? I'm sure
It's
there's
really
somebody in
unfortunate.
Czechoslovakia or
it's
something.
really unfortunate
making shit.
when during Enter Sandman that your pinball table gets run over by a semi truck.
Do you, you know what pinball table I would like is Garth Brooks' Chris Gaines
His what?
I'll take a Chris Gaines table.
as Chris Gaines. Do you remember when Garth Brooks reinvented himself?
Was that just for a music video?
No,
He did a whole album.
he had a rock album.
He even appeared on Saturday Night Live as Chris Gaines.
An alter ego.
Like he out Joaquin Phoenix before Joaquin Phoenix was Joaquin Phoenix.
I've never heard anybody use Joaquin Phoenix as a verb before. And I'm guaranteed no one has used Joaquin Phoenix as a verb in relation to a Chris Gaines, Garth Brooks bit.
Probably
And
not.
in relation to a pinball machine.
I think I was in high school during
don't forget that.
Yeah, Chris Gaines pinball. I think I was in high school during that time, and I think that everyone
You
thought
loved
that
him.
was the big but I think like everybody where I grew up thought that was the biggest deal. Like it was like what's the deal with this? Like who knows the secret to this? Like it was like something you talk about in the country.
Is there like you listen to it like there's all these little codes
like
and
oh
hints?
man, what's it mean? It
It
has
was
more
Garth Brooks
meaning.
the whole time.
Oh,
That one fan that was just completely baffled.
hillbilly
Who is
legends.
Um,
Is Garth Brooks real? Or is Chris Gaines the real man? And Garth Brooks the character? This week on Hillbilly Legends.
Holy
sounds like a wrestling
shit.
plot.
I never thought about it that way though.
Do you have friends in high places?
Oh. They don't
So-
listen to the country
To you,
over
Justin?
here.
Ethan wrote a review last week of Sang-Froid, Tales of Werewolves. Is that correct? I kind of want to talk a little bit about the game, but also kind of disappointed in your review, Ethan. You mentioned that this takes place in Canada, but you don't mention you play as lumberjacks. And had you had the word lumberjacks in
one of
there,
them was a
I would have been
lumberjack.
much more excited.
Yeah, one of them was a lumberjack. The other wasn't. Yeah, in the very beginning of our article, actually, I
Entirely
I know I
possible,
did.
but it didn't sink in, so I blame you. Lumberjack
Yeah.
plays lumberjacks versus supernatural creatures. Sounds like the game was made for you. Was that basically your conclusion?
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's why maybe I did say lumberjacks versus supernatural creatures, but I'm very cautious with that because it is not. I try to write it in the nicest way possible that this is a game that not a whole lot of people are going to really dig, but people like me will love it.
They made it sound good.
it works on a level that I'm all about traps, not traps like we're used to, not orcs must die traps where it's just crazy and all of this. I mean, they're somewhat as realistic as you could possibly be, in a game where you're fighting supernatural creatures. But yeah, it's just it gets in your fucking head, man. And great game. I don't know. It was really, that was a really tough review to write. Actually, I was in it too deep. It was too long. You could tell in the review I was trying to really explain.
Well, I was going to ask,
you can't.
Like, so we use the Reflex reviews to do like quick takes on a game we've played, a little while with, enough to have an opinion. But have you finished the game? Because you had a lot to say.
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, I was probably about 75%
Okay.
of the way through. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. It's one of those games that I think, one part of reviews is saying yay or nay, it's a good game. Another part of it is explaining the mechanics so that someone reading reviews is like, oh, okay, this sounds like my kind of thing. And I wanted to explain the mechanics in a way that, again, the demographic would be like, oh shit, yeah, this is what I want. But action type people, because it's not an action game. There's some action, but if you play it like that, you get your absolute ass kicked. So it was really tough. I should have just done like a stupid video with it.
I think Josh and
I'm a lumberjack. Look at me. I was actually like analyze the thing.
I want to say Josh and I looked at it as a potential game to play after one of our podcasts, but both kind of pushed it off to the side for whatever reason, and then you got super excited about it, and then I read your review and I was like, maybe I should give this game a shot, but then, yeah, like you said, got to be. It's a very specific group, and I don't know if I'm enough Ethan enough to enjoy it, but it's definitely a curious game. So
yeah, well done game. I mean, it had, it's an indie game, so it had its had some polish that it could have used, but I mean, really good atmosphere, hilarious cutscenes. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but yeah, I mean, fucking A.
We had a question in the chat. Is it like Dungeon Defenders?
No, not at all. Not even close. I cannot think of a game that it's further from.
You said it wasn't. What was the other game you compared it to? It's not Orcs Must Die, and
not
it's not
Orcs Must Die. It's not. I can't. It's not.
It's not tower defense.
Is
what you're saying?
Nothing at all. It's very. I mean, you have to.
How about shit? It's like, is it kind of in between Orcs Must Die and
Dead Nation?
Iron Brigade.
No.
Alien Shooter.
Commandos.
No.
Bionic Commandos.
No. It's not. It's you're basically. It's almost like you're making a Rube Goldberg machine of traps, and you have to you are the ball, and you have to hit these traps in a way. You have to line everything up in a way that everything fits and it works well. So you have all these different buildings that you're trying to protect, and so maybe you've got some enemies coming down one area. So you go up there, you shoot a net, the net drops down immediately. You got to run to someplace else. I mean, it's yeah, it's a very nerve-wracking game.
And you don't chop down trees?
You do, yeah, but it's in kind of cutscene type things.
So he's a lumberjack.
No, one of them's a lumberjack. The other guy's not a lumberjack.
Well, yeah, but but you do some lumberjacking. You jack it a little bit.
Jack that lumber.
Whoa. I didn't say that you didn't jack lumber. I just don't want it to.
How much jacking do you do?
You jack some lumber. It's a way you make money in between your battle time.
So this is really Timber. The arcade game?
No.
Dude, where were you guys when you were children? It's a great arcade game. Everyone go.
I was probably playing Joust.
Put it on MAME and play it. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay, now let's calm down here because we're here for another Action Pack episode. So these episodes are a time for us to reflect on all of the other topics that haven't quite made their way to being a full episode of the Horrible Show. So we've all got a wide variety of lists. Chat, feel free to throw out potential just random gaming topics, and we'll see how many we can get through. Once again, we will end each topic once two of the members have uttered the safe word, and we all know what the safe word is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, we're not going to have a new one?
I don't know. Is it new?
I don't do. I think it's pretty classic. I think we all understand.
Yeah, it's contextually, though. It means nothing, so having a new one wouldn't hurt anything.
Okay.
Would you want to have a new one? Maybe that's our first point of interest.
All right,
This
chat.
is-
Suggest a new
First
safe
order of
word.
business. New safe word. Home Alone 3. There it is. No, that's it.
See. Chat loves the classic tentacle
Oh,
suit.
actually, that was a question. I think this is an Action Pack topic. Home Alone 3.
All right.
Did they make one of those, or was that
We're getting tentacle suited.
I saw one and
on
two.
The safe word conversation. So
Grippos? I do love some Grippos and Munchos. For that, anything with O's on the end, I'm probably gonna be okay with it. What is going on over there, Ethan?
Grippos. I
I thought you were lumberjacking.
I was. Yeah. You're supposed
you're log
to cut
tossing,
the
I don't
wood. What?
all right. Safe word once again is tentacle suit.
It's really safe words.
It's one word.
If you don't put a space there, I guess it's one.
I have not been putting.
Tentacle pseudos.
Ethan, kick us off. What's your first action pack topic?
My first action pack topic is I throw a joke one in here. Damn it! I should
Go do it.
Just do whatever you want.
Well, no, my first topic was it wasn't even a topic. It was just kind of a statement. I can only eat yogurt if I don't smell it first, which is absolutely 100% true.
Oh, what kind of yogurt?
Vanilla
Greek yogurt,
or
regular-
any of it. It's that yogurt smell
Yoplait.
gets right to my nose.
What about Go-Gurt?
Tentacle suit.
don't
unless
make
Josh
those
can tie
anymore.
this to a video game.
The thing is with Go-Gurt, you can't really smell it before it goes in your mouth unless you squeeze it onto something else. Unless you just put your nose like right on that little hole on that thing.
I'm really weird with
squeeze
my
it out.
yogurt. I actually squeeze it into an actual container of yogurt that I've got left over because I just don't like the idea of yogurt. Yogurt on the go, no.
Well, that's your problem. It's not your smeller. You're just a weirdo.
No, seriously, warm weather is coming up, and for some weird fucking reason, it's been horribly shitty and cold in Germany, and I kind of lost motivation to play games a lot. And now that the weather is really nice and it's beautiful outside, I'm fucking just want to play a lot. You know, I had a huge Torchlight 2 run this weekend. BioShock Infinite came out, and I've been in on that as well. And I'm kind of thinking, how do we help ourselves with this warm weather guilt, or should we even feel guilty?
I feel kind of guilty, but I blame BioShock Infinite right now. But it's just I've also gotten kind of used to this end of the first business quarter of the year. Like all those releases in March, they bleed over into the beginning of springtime, and I feel guilty when it's the last few weekends when it's actually been kind of nice out, and I got things to do in Colombia.
Might be a good time to whip out the Hideo Kojima classic Boktai. The sun is in your hand for the GBA.
But you can't actually see what's on screen when you play that game.
You get
I have that.
You get
for the record.
backlight mod or the SP.
It's a pain in the ass. That game's genius, though.
What the
Game's
heck?
good. It's a good game.
Did the micro have a backlight? Probably didn't work with Boktai though. Probably wouldn't fit. I don't know if it did or not. Yeah, the slot's the same size.
Is that the only
If
warm
the
weather
game fits.
The only game designed around warm weather?
Mm.
Outdoors power padding, maybe?
Yeah. There had to have been some other gimmicky thing. I mean, there were those games that, if you didn't have the backlight, the only way to see was to play them outside. So
do you
start playing some Game Boy, dude. You're good to go. Tiger LCDs or whatever.
I guess it is true. Well, I kind of want to play paintball. That's like the real life
terrible
equivalent of a video game.
Nope. You know what? We need an AR 3DSware paintball game where you shoot paintballs at people. Just people on the street.
Oh shit!
Walk down the street and shoot them with virtual paintballs, and splat, and then you look and you just look at them and hold it up at them and you laugh, and then they look at you weird and you don't care because you're having a great time.
And you're winning.
That's actually a really good idea.
Augmented reality.
It's the future.
Coming.
It's hot tech.
Oh, it's here. No, it's not coming. It's here, isn't it?
It's here. Oh yeah, we've got it. We've got that.
Reality.
We've got the face ball game. I'm shooting, or whatever it's called, face shooters, face blast.
Keep going.
I'm shooting.
Where's the line?
I'm
that you
shooting.
cross here?
Stuff's coming out of my walls. It's like a hole rips open in the wall, and it's like there's somebody's face is coming at me, and they got a beanie, and it's like a helicopter, and and I'm like, oh, it's me! I'm shooting myself in the face. It's crazy. Games are crazy these days. Oculus Rift, woohoo! Damn, it's nuts. 3D, AR, OPP, OCP, RoboCop. He's the future of games.
Follow along at home. I think you just like somebody's playing horrible show bingo, and you just got somebody
6 degrees
really
of Peter
drunk.
Weller.
Yeah, that's really all.
But so you feel? Do you actually feel guilty, Ethan?
Yo, fuck yeah, it's beautiful, dude. I was such a little bitch about the weather this winter. I was like, no, it's so cold and gray. Ugh. And then the sun comes out, I'm just like normal 13-year-old kids that just can't be happy, you know. So yeah, I don't know, but but I went on a walk outside, so I'm doing that.
Yeah, we do
trying to find things to do, you know, walking, and I walk a lot, and and do some jogging and chase people. That's not well received.
Well,
I think this
depends on where you are.
It's like from here till E3,
Works in Japan.
my gaming gets a little bit light, and then once E3 hits, I'm kind of like heavy into all video games all the time, as far as like surrounding myself with trailers and knowledge, and so then I have a little bit of a like peak of summer. It's too hot to be outside anyway, so might as well game some more where it comes back. And then that same time, about that, right as it's going into fall, it's actually nice to be outside again. Like there's a little bit of guilt there, and then all the games come out, so it doesn't matter.
What if E3 was outside? Imagine the smell. You go into a tent to see something. It'd be so hot. It'd be so damn hot, and there'd be like a fan on you, and it would smell so bad. You'd just be like, "Let me out of this thing." And you can't see the screens because there's too much glare from sunlight and shit. Even like, I
mean, have you ever tried to do like? I remember, like for a while there, a lot of the music festivals, there'd be some game that was
I did it with Netheads like several times. We went to like things during the summer, like events, and we set up a bunch of games for competitions and stuff. And it sucked. I mean, we even had matte screens, and you couldn't see shit. Yeah, you need some like crazy backlight, and it can't be facing towards anything reflective. Obviously not the sun, but even anything like white or just super reflective in the background would just blow out you couldn't see shit. It was just the worst. And like, and your hands would be like perpetually sweaty. So just even like holding you pick up a controller and you're like, well, I need to clean this thing off, but you can never get it dry. So you're like, did I clean this already? I don't know. It's always slimy. So what's it matter? Ugh. It's just gross. Yeah. Everything about being outside playing games is it sucks and it's gross. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Go outside, be a real man or real woman, and use power tools.
But you haven't been using power tools inside?
I've been using them outside to make a video game cabinet. So I've combined all of my my hobbies, my interests together, but while drinking, I'm much steadier hand with the tools, with the cutting tools.
Yeah.
So tentacle suit.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about Disney destroying our childhood in the last couple weeks by closing LucasArts. I just kind of wanted to know what your guys' reaction to that story actually was.
Disney didn't kill our child. No, LucasArts hadn't made anything besides Star Wars 1313, which apparently wasn't even really much of a thing. What have they done? What have they done for you lately? Nothing. All your good memories.
Star Wars Republic Commando.
No. Yeah. How long was that? How ago was that?
Xbox. So that's what, 8 years probably.
There was nothing coming out of there. What's the point? And so at least now, Disney is going to be hopefully pretty good about saying, "Hey, who wants to make a Star Wars game?" If somebody pitches them with something that's going to work, like let some third party make something Star Wars.
Have they been doing that with the Disney properties as far as like,
Indiana Jones or whatever?
Like, I know they're getting out of like internally they're getting out of AAA development.
Mm-hmm.
Like other than Disney Infinity being kind of their last remaining project.
Yeah.
But you know, all their stuff, Epic Mickey, Tron, whatever else, all kind of they never really panned out.
Yeah.
So,
but see,
will
I
they
think
still
they learn.
will they still take a AAA title from another like you said, if somebody pitches them an idea, do you think they'll give AAA money, or like a AAA Star Wars game will still be a possibility, just developed by somebody else?
I mean, hopefully, they don't need AAA money. Like, I would be okay with, downloadable size, experiences in those universes. Like, give us a Super Star Wars 2. That's
fuck yeah.
okay. Like, sure. Way forward, Star Wars, go. Like, whatever. Just
But we're working on everybody's.
that's fine. Yep. Nope. Keep on.
retro
Let's
remake.
Give us some more. We need more. Well, they're already working for them, right?
Yeah.
They're already doing a Disney
The
side-scrolling game.
How did that happen?
It's whatever. It's not a big deal. Disney, at least I think, maybe learns lessons.
Yeah.
I think they're actually, if they do make mistakes, I think they learn from them. And they got some people in place now that have done good things with like the Marvel deal. So maybe they're.
I guess I expected them to keep using
just license it.
Keep using the name for some reason, and I don't. That's just me tied to nostalgia. I knew where Disney was headed games wise. It wouldn't make sense to keep LucasArts staffed up the way it was. But I really thought, I was like, yeah, they'll see 1313 through, and then they'll make a new batch of Star Wars games for the new movies. That'll probably be the path of LucasArts. But I think they just kind of decided.
I mean, they killed the Battlefront 3, which actually looked awesome. That footage that leaked out back when looked really cool. Like the transition from the ground to space stuff looked like really awesome, and like they killed that. And then they did nothing with that license, and then here was 1313, which actually looked awesome, but I don't think that's good. Leisure Suit Lando, it sounds really good. I want to play that. I want to play that game. Well, he doesn't need it. I think Lando doesn't need your help. You don't need to be pointing and clicking on anything. He takes whatever he wants. I bet. It's the little cape. It's that chicks love that little tiny cape. Man, gotta give me one of those. So yeah, I'm kind of upset. 1313 is not gonna be a thing. And they've said, yeah, maybe someone else will pick it up. Oh, let me just say too, it sucks that people lost their jobs. That blows, and I can't do anything for them. So oops, but that sucks. So,
but we were both kind of,
but whatever. Other than that,
it sounds like we were both kind of the same mind that the LucasArts that we attach our nostalgia to, that's been gone for a while.
Yeah, and give Ron Gilbert Monkey Island. Give it back. He wants it. Give it back.
You couldn't tell that he wants it. Because that's what I mean. That was the first thing that everybody reacted to, was they did all their adventure game nostalgia, which was like, so what has changed for you? Like, you weren't getting those games either way, but that was the first thing that everybody jumped on. And so I started trying to think back, what was the last LucasArts game that I actually played, and it would have been, well, I guess, I know they probably didn't develop. They didn't develop the Force Unleashed.
Mm-mm. I mean, they didn't.
I think they developed.
I don't know what the last thing they developed was.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? What did you think?
For some reason, I think Republic Commando was, but maybe that was.
But
then I went back. Go ahead.
I don't think anybody, developed any of those games inside of a box.
Right.
I think there were probably people at LucasArts who had a hand in a lot of that stuff, somewhere along the line creatively. But they were the keepers of the IP, and now it's Disney. Like, okay, they can curate. They've been doing that for a long time with a lot of beloved characters. It's okay. They know what they're doing. So if something makes sense, if there's going to be some partnership that is going to make them money, if they think it's going to make them money, they'll license that stuff out to someone else. It's not just because it doesn't have the LucasArts logo on it doesn't mean it's not taken care of with the same amount of love. And we don't. I mean, none of us knew anyone personally at LucasArts, but a lot of people left. Like, there's no way there was anybody left over from the days when they were making things that we liked, right? What are the chances? Got to be pretty slim.
Yeah.
Pretty slim.
I just thought it was. I mean, there was a lot. I think it was, it's always nice to have the retrospective and whatnot, but I thought it was kind of odd because I just because you hadn't heard a whole lot of it, so it almost felt like some of those retrospectives were a little bit forced. Like, well, we should do it. LucasArts was kind of a thing, but I mean, I don't know. I wasn't upset to see it. I don't know. I felt like maybe. Okay, like fine, see ya. Like, I mean, that sucks. I mean, it sucks, but it's, I don't know, there's been a lot. I feel like game companies are just dropping like flies the way it is, and for someone that, hasn't really done anything of too much substance, at least for me personally, in like the last 5 years, it's kind of tough to get to like, look back, and I mean, I remember the Sierra games. That was my shit. That was my schnizzle.
Well,
they haven't, they've not been around for a while. So
like if you liked the Tim Schafer and Ron Gilbert games, like those guys are still making games somewhere else.
They're still making games. They're okay. They're doing. Those guys are
and like
fine.
Pandemic's gone. That was Pandemic, right? They did Battlefront. Those guys are gone. But and like Raven hasn't. I mean, they're not. They made Star Wars games you liked, and now they're making Call of Duty levels.
Yeah.
So who's. I mean,
who is
it you were in love with over there?
That was
It was a logo.
Love that logo.
The buyout.
It's pretty good.
The fallout from this news was me going back to buy all the Jedi Knight games and try to run them all, and not being able to run the first one. That was frustrating.
Really?
Dark Forces 2. It needs some patches and stuff. So.
Do you have the Steam version?
Yeah.
And it doesn't work? The Steam version?
Go in my community hub and they're like,
Wow.
download this patch and then do this, and this. And
Wow,
that was frustrating.
GOG.com would never let that happen.
Oh, I was waiting for the cash register noise to play there.
Love GOG. There are some curators of old
They're
software.
taking care of us.
Mm-hmm.
Cynical Soup.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
I like to laugh.
What do you want to talk about here?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Well, I have that thing.
What do you
We're
want
going
to
to save that thing? We'll save that
What are you
thing.
talking about?
We'll save the one thing I had.
What are you talking about? What are you talking
Hey,
about?
is it time to buy a Vita yet?
What the fuck's a Vita?
The PS Vita.
Oh,
He's got all the games.
The handheld
I'm
device.
so jealous.
So, I was thinking about it.
House cards.
Just every time I see the cross-buy stuff, because Guacamelee came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking PSN exclusive, so turn that thing on.
Mm-hmm.
And the co-op is through the Vita. And this is one of those, I guess it's rare, as far as you buy it for one and you have it on both, rather than you buy it for both and it works on
Increasingly less so.
both. Right. Which is really smart, because if you just build...
Sony cares about gamers.
Here's the thing. You build up that Vita library in the meantime,
Yeah.
and when PS4 comes out and you have a bunch of Vita connectivity, I have much more reason to go pick that up. And they're making that a lot more of a why not type of decision, rather than...
I got a whole bunch of games waiting for me right
yeah,
now.
That's the thing. There's not one game that's saying I need to go buy a Vita, but there's a lot of games on the Vita now that I would play.
Yep.
So it's just quietly kind of come along.
And
kinda
RPGs, like Persona 4 Golden. Like, I really want to play that game. I want to be a Japanese high school student.
And it's nice hardware.
So bad.
It's not. I think about it every day. How different would your life have been if you'd been a Japanese high school student?
Well, I'd play a lot more Monster Hunter.
We still haven't done that.
I'd also probably wear a tie. I think they wear
You want to
ties.
know what I would do if I was a Japanese high school student?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. Go ahead. Approved.
Probably get a much better education than I did.
Yeah.
You think
I
I was
knew you were
gonna
going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. No, Okay, so I'm looking at the library, just waiting for me. Like I've got all these games, PSP games, enhanced graphics, the PS Vita instant game collection, all the minis, the cross buy. I've got some cross buy stuff. PS1 classics, almost all of those are working now. The ones up on the PSN store, all the ones that you care about. And Soul Sacrifice is coming out in 2 weeks, which is that cool-looking Monster Hunter type game that looks like a lot less tedious than Monster Hunter. That looks really good. And I'm thinking, like, what if not now, when?
Another price drop? I don't know.
Bingo!
I think
$50. Drop it $50.
One thing that always puts it.
Bingo.
One thing that always still puts a downer on me when I'm thinking about buying a Vita is, I have to buy that giant memory card too after the fact.
Yeah, but there's deals. You know, you're starting to see deals, like and there's
why do I feel like
you
he's
got storage. You got man with the PSP, it was the same thing, except you didn't have. It probably wasn't as expensive. I guess I don't know. I can't remember the prices on those. What are they called? The Pro Stick Duo, whatever's
memory stick
and
Sony.
Duo 2s or whatever they have now. Proprietary crap. Just should have been an SD card. Whatever. It's Sony. They still do some things that are a little archaic. But besides that thing, just imagine though that you can find a deal that gets around that initial inflated startup cost, right? The buy-in cost. So. Why do I not have a Vita? You know, like I have a 3DS that I'm not playing right now, and it may be Christmas by the time there's more games I want to play on that thing. Why don't I just sell it and get a Vita? Tell me to not do this. And
the only thing I'd say is because you're not really playing your 3DS either, and it's.
I mean, I was, but then I went through the games that I had, and like, well, I'm done with those, so.
Or do we wait for them to just go ahead and release those games on PC? Since I was thinking of the Resident Evil Revelations.
I guess, but what am I going to do while I poop? I have to do something. I mean, the iPad, I'm just done with it.
Why don't you sell your Wii U and get a Vita?
No, but I need to have that one.
Do you? Do you?
You
need your Wii U more than you need your 3DS?
I gotta have the Wii U because there's girlfriend games, but
she's done with Mario.
Grandmother's
exercise.
So
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh yeah. See. Yep. I have to keep it. Ethan says yes.
Go ahead. You should just keep the Wii. You should.
Okay.
You should.
Sorry, Justin. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry.
Don't be good at that.
I don't feel like this conversation is phasing Ethan at all. I felt like this was another Josh and I trying to talk ourselves into buying something so the other one doesn't feel guilty. Ethan, are we full of shit?
Yeah.
No, about the nooks and crannies of my 3DS or
Vita's not.
I don't know. I mean, do you need more video games? You guys, you know, do you, Justin? You just downloaded the Jedi Knight games. What the fuck kind of good choice is that?
But wait. If I can just if I can fund the Vita by selling something else, I already have all the games. I don't need to buy any games. Well, besides Soul Sacrifice, I'll need to buy that one, and I need to get Guacamelee because that's cross-buy.
But you'd be getting that on your PS3 anyway, so that's not a Vita. That's not a Vita
because
purchase.
Microsoft did it's like Netflix, and Sony cares about gamers.
And developers.
I heard they,
yeah. Who are gamers? They play games too. You know, like Microsoft, I think maybe forgets that. Like, oh yeah, Phil Fish, you don't play games. Like, no, he does. That's why he has glasses.
And now he can come over here and
to
share.
See games. Yeah. And Jonathan Blow, that guy plays games with no.
His mind.
I almost crossed the line.
And his van.
And I didn't want it to go on his list.
Oh, I think we're already on his list. Don't worry, we're already on the list, dude.
No.
You got a visit coming from Mr. Blow. He's on his way. Oh, that's a scary fucking game. You want to talk about? Yes.
He's a kind
The
of tall and
Misadventures
skinny.
of Jonathan Blow.
He actually is the Slender Man.
Oh,
Yeah, he look.
man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
The Blender
Chat's
Man.
called Tentacle Suit.
I want to say though first before we tentacle suit.
Oh, that's against the rules.
Verdian says I'll never sell the 3DS because I told everyone where I use it. So obviously I'm not going to ask you guys if you want to buy it. But
No,
I
I
would
don't want it.
I would totally wipe it down with a dry cloth. Like it's going to be very clean.
Ethan, you've got to top your last topic.
Bow and arrows. They won our weapon of the year in 2012, and I think they're coming back big time, dudes.
Or are they back?
Crisis 3 had a pretty solid one. Tomb Raider had a bow and arrow.
Blood Dragon has a neon
Has
bow.
a neon.
That could be the. I mean, where do
Their
we go from?
their arrows are made of laser.
Where do we go from the?
Crossbows.
What's left? What's left from the year of the bow? Are all the games out after? Are all the games out? There's not a year of the bow. There's not a bow in Last of Us.
Oh,
Is
there's
there?
gotta be.
That would be the
I'm
perfect
sure
place
there
to have a
is.
bow.
Oh, he's got a mean shotgun.
Yeah, they still have plenty of bullets. It's not that far along, I guess.
Because I want to. I mean,
still
it,
have bullets in that
I mean, yeah,
apocalypse.
it was basically Far Cry, Crisis, and Tomb Raider that got it deemed year of
Yeah.
the bow, and 2 of the games didn't make it out.
Right. So yeah, we can't really count those for this year
I
because we counted them for last year.
But do you guys want to learn archery? Because I kind of do.
Okay,
Man,
So-
I loved archery
Maybe that's what I'm
in
getting
high
at.
school.
I want to like.
That was fun.
I want to understand like what makes a good modern bow. Like some of the compound, but like modern compound bows are pretty like ridiculous as far as
I want to make my own bow.
what was it?
I
Like,
don't want to buy one. I want
also-
to fashion it.
I also want one like Hawkeye from the Avengers movie that just he just
Ugh. It's like made out of floppy rubber. It's made
No,
out of like
it's solid.
dildo material.
It's-
Why would I don't want that. I want like
But it's-
wood that you're like you hear it creaking as I pull the shit back. I don't want this.
You are way too close
floppy-
to wood lately. I think you need
You love wood, dude. Yeah. What the fuck is your
Yeah.
problem?
Let's go
You don't want a
chop some.
composite bow?
to jack some lumber.
Let's go jack
Go
it.
jack some lumber, man. I need a bow. Get this guy out here. This guy will jack your lumber, make
I'm
you a
gonna
bow,
go-
make you a
let's go-
boat, make you an arcade machine, make you a hat. He'll make anything out
Yeah,
of wood. He's got a
make a
jigsaw.
wooden hat. Shit, making some teeth,
Have either
some
of you?
clogs. Let's go. I'm gonna go jacking with my buds.
Oh yeah, then we had Sorry, chat's correct.
Joffrey's crossbow is really nice. I wouldn't mind a crossbow.
No
See,
spoilers.
you watch Game of Thrones, you got a crossbow as a gift. Like that.
I'm not
I think
caught up.
he's like, oh, it's the finest weapon in all the land. You like it? And I was like, yeah, actually, I want to beat your ass and take it. Like it's really that is really nice crossbow. It was so big. I mean, I'd rather have mine like black or something with maybe some chrome tips, but
I think Ethan's brother is on
Crossbows are cool, too.
onto something with the bow to round out the year of the bow. If Saints Row 4 has the dildo bow,
Oh, I.
dildo.
Yeah. Actually, we forgot about Ada Wong's bow. It's a good bow. Could you imagine getting hit in the face with a dildo from a bow and arrow? It's not bad enough you get hit in the face with a dildo, but like someone's standing there like, ha ha ha, and they just dash off into the wild.
I guess
Incredible.
one time when I was a kid, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons and cast the Sticks to Snakes spell on an arrow as it was getting launched.
I'm sorry, I'm still picturing the dildo arrow flying through the air. If you get impaled by the dildo arrow,
Oh man.
what were we talking about? I don't,
Sticks to Snakes.
so
They haven't had it in
Sticks to
D&D in a
Snakes.
long time though.
So we're okay
They took
with
That
that
sounds
one
like
out.
a game you get tricked into playing in high school. I don't know.
In the D&D was the Shadows over Mystara, the arcade game, or Tower of Doom, whichever one. The wizard had that as a spell, and I would just spam it. Sticks to snakes, sticks to snakes, and arcade digitized voice would say it. It was fucking hilarious. It was just worthless. I did it. We were playing it one time, and we were fighting like the Lich or whatever at the end of the game, and I was just throwing, taking sticks and turn them into snakes on the ground. It was awesome. Bows, bow and arrow, crossbow, dild bow,
dildo bow.
tentacle suit.
They're tough in real life. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Wait, what are
It's a
tough?
tentacle suit. No, bow and arrows are tough, man. They feel good in the games. They're tough in real life.
Now you got to figure out how to make arrows though, because you don't just get to go retrieve them. They break a lot.
I'm not making my own fucking bow and arrow. I'm gonna buy a
You can't.
surplus of arrows, put them on my back. I think this is how you do it. Pull them out. Boom.
Don't know where I was going with some of my topics here. Oh. Okay.
Throw one out there. Combine a word from each.
Did we talk about the yogurt thing?
Can we talk about the
Yes.
All right. Continuing a free-to-play discussion. Why aren't games like Defiance and games like... What's it called? Shootmania Storm. Why aren't they free-to-play? Like, I feel like we've crossed into this weird realm where I'm playing these games and I'm kind of asking myself, with Defiance, why am I dropping 60 out of the gate? And then, I don't know, there's something about a multiplayer-only shooter after playing so much Planet Side of why am I dropping $20 out of the gate on this as well? Where are your guys' expectations as far as...
Is it Shootmania is... Well, they're both new IPs. So that's kind of a risk. PlanetSide kind of had a somewhat of a following coming in, so they could kind of take that gamble, because the original PlanetSide was not free-to-play, was it?
No, was that subscription-based?
Which one?
The original Planetside.
Subscription. And they had a free option that they introduced and then took away, and then reintroduced like much.
Dicks.
Then yeah, it was they
Yeah.
they
So here's the
flip
thing.
flopped.
I'm okay with...
Sony loves gamers.
I think they're dumb, but I'm okay with MMOs attempting a subscription model out of the gate. I still think they gotta get rid of that upfront price.
it's just okay.
Or if you're going to give me the upfront price, give me 3 months.
We're gonna armchair quarterback on this one a lot. We never do that normally, but so this is obviously like a high level publisher kind of decision. This is a business decision. This is
I don't think it's a smart business decision.
well, you have to think that people see free to play still as like a weird thing. Like there's still got to be a perception problem.
Yes.
And if you want to put a game out to reach the widest possible audience, like a game for consoles like audiences, you still can't do free to play. And you know, if you're going to put a show on Sci-Fi Channel and make a free to play game, like unless you're League of Legends, like it's not going to do what you want it to do. So to give yourself the maximum potential for that kind of game with that kind of marketing behind it, yeah, you're gonna need to put it in a box.
But
and if you're gonna put it in a box, it can't be free. It costs it's gonna be $40 to $60 or whatever. But you don't want $40. It has its own perception issues. So it's a full game. But then you don't want to have you're gonna have like a lot of ongoing development costs. And if you're not gonna charge a subscription fee for a game like that. And I don't know, this is really just speaking to Defiance, which is it's really like an MMO. They're treating it like an MMO. Then you're going to have microtransaction stuff in there. You've got to do it. Something has to give you more money as you go forward.
I cannot figure out the difference in my head between Defiance and Guild Wars 2, and that for some reason I was okay with that price for Guild Wars 2, but maybe it's just like how middle tier Defiance actually feels. Like I was not okay with that price, and we found a deal before we purchased the game, and that's kind of what helped push me over the edge.
You knew what Guild Wars was going to be. It had a pedigree, and you knew what you're going to get out of it. And with Defiance, if you didn't play Rift, I guess, then why would you expect anything out of Tryon? So I could see where you might be like, but if you just like the average person that would see a commercial for it or whatever, or just see like a quick trailer and be like, oh, it's shoot stuff, kind of like Borderlands, but like not cartoony. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Like people might just think like, hey, it's a game I can ramp trucks. I'll buy that off a shelf, and like they don't know that there's like games that you don't have to pay for that you can do that in, like PlanetSide. Like PlanetSide is never going to get a certain audience because, one, it's only on PC. Two, it's like you're not dude watching Sci-Fi Channel show isn't going to see it advertised. So that's that is just purely like trying to figure out who your market is, what kind of reach, how many units you think you might be able to sell in these different scenarios. It's tough though, because things are changing. Like free to play is like what it once was, and there are games out there that are proving it. With the most played multiplayer game in the world is a free to play game.
That isn't technical. Oh, never mind.
Sorry. What? No, say it.
No, I was wrong because you're talking about League of Legends.
Yes.
And
what do you think I was making?
Because I think Dota overtook it on Steam as far as
and that
but that
League of Legends isn't on Steam.
Right.
That report that came out was completely full of shit, and the company that put it up just removed the report altogether. It was complete shit. Their data sucked. They got called out on it, and they removed all traces of it. Dota did not surpass League of Legends in any way, shape, or form, and anywhere in the world. I'm sure it's a great game, but League of Legends is the behemoth. But that's not even just like Team Fortress, all the MMOs that went free to play that survived because they did that, like Lord of the Rings Online, like Turbine would be probably
I guess
done
I feel like
if they hadn't done that.
We're at the tail end
But it's
here,
different
where
for a game like Defiance.
Yeah, but I feel like we're at the tail end of that. Like I agree with you in that free to play still has a perception issue that I think personally I've only recently gotten over.
Right.
And I don't feel like I speak for the majority in that regard. But I feel like we're kind of at the tail end where like you won't see games like this have this kind of pricing model out of the gate. And I don't know. It's just, or maybe I'm wrong in that we're just going to see more $60 games have microtransactions built into the back end of the game too. That's also still there.
Yeah.
And they do try to get that money up front, and then that price will get dropped like it always does. And
like I wonder how much data is out there for companies that are thinking about doing like free to play game. Like how we don't see a lot of hard like usable, I guess, numbers coming out of like say Gamma Sutra, which would be the only place I could think of that would actually publish that kind of stuff if they got a hold of that data. Like you don't see a lot of that. So like how would you know? Like say like you think like we think if we put this in a box or even as digital only or something, like we're selling it for $30-$40, we think we might be able to sell X amount of units in this amount of time, versus free to play we get more people trying it, but you got to look at a percentage of those people that are going to be like your whales, and I don't even know how much those people spend. Is it like $200 over their lifetime? And like so like looking at all that, trying to guess at that, like it's got to be kind of scary proposition to think like, well, what if we put this out and no one buys anything? Like you got to make sure that whatever you're trying to sell to them is, if trying to get somebody to buy a game up front at whatever cost that is, but just for like an actual retail upfront cost. Like there's tried and true methods to get people to buy it by like, sometimes it's kind of deceptive, but it's marketing. It's just marketing techniques. Where with free to play game, trying to get people to spend money is all about like the core design of the game and making these things. I mean, you can just say, let's just throw hats in there. Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess you could. That doesn't work for every game, Like not everybody's just gonna go buy a shit ton of hats. It's like all of it's got to be priced right. The actual art has to be good. If it looks dumb, like people won't buy it. If it's just too expensive, I'm not gonna pay $5 for a hat, but I'll pay $2. Like where? I mean, there's so many things that could go wrong with that. Or you could just screw up the game balance, and then everyone blows up on the internet, and that shit spreads like wildfire in those types of games. Everyone bitches about it. Suddenly the game's no fun because there's no players doing PvP. Whatever it is, there's so many things that to me would look really scary from the outside going free to play. Oh man, I think I'm gonna sell my game on shelves. I think I'm going box copy.
Box PC games.
$45. My game's $45, and but I'll still have microtransactions, but they'll be really nice hats, and they'll be cheap though.
Always good to help solve your problem.
Mm-hmm. We did it. We figured it out.
All right, Tentacle Suit. Ethan, we're gonna go around one more time. What you got?
Oh shit.
No.
Oh, nothing. I kind of we kind of already touched on it. Is just preparing for the MOBA community because I want to take Dota 2 for a spin, and probably not as bad as League of Legends, but probably still pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Should I? Is this gonna be totally hilarious, or am I gonna leave the situation feeling?
I'm worried about you going
bad.
solo. We've discussed this in the past. I've liked our approach of getting a team of newbies together to confront this problem head on, but make our own fun with it. No, I'm not trying to make fun of the community, but there's a very unwelcoming aspect to it, and a very daunting aspect of playing the game wrong and just getting crushed by the community for it, and like ruining people's days because you don't know how to use a character because you didn't even know you had that ability, or you should use that ability, or how to use that ability. So that was always my defense, was get a group together. But if you're going to go solo, you're
Well, I want to get a group together. I just don't know when our game times, my mans, they don't always connect.
Dude, are you trying to get good, or just have some fun, or just see what it's all about?
I want to see. It's almost like a jungle, and you look at the jungle and you say, "Man, that jungle could be fun." No, wait. The jungle's not going to be fun. You know it's not going to be fun because there's so many huge lizards and bugs and shit.
Yeah.
But you want to see it so that you can say, I went to a fucking jungle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just want to see what happens. What is going on in there? Why are people so dedicated to this game? I'm not connected to it. I don't know. It was like when the whole streaming thing first began. We were all like, I don't know what is with streaming. Then we started streaming. We're like, okay, we kind of get it now. This whole MOBA thing, I don't understand it. I just don't. It's foreign to me. Not because of the game mechanics, because I mean, again, there's a little bit of everything in there in terms of how those games operate. That's not too different. But those communities are ravenous. They'll kill you. They'll eat you alive. Mm-hmm. Wait. So they wouldn't kill you. They'll injure you, and then they'll eat you alive. Like, it's scary as hell.
You'll die from the eating injuries.
The eating-related injuries will kill you.
Not your eating, them eating you.
But if you eat too much, that can kill you too. It's a long-term thing. It's a little bit slower, but...
That'd be really ironic, though, if you ate so much you died right before they tried to eat you.
Died...
That'd be one way to stick
You
it to
died eating yourself.
What if you... No. What if they started eating
you? Ray Liotta ate his own brains.
They started eating you, and then you started eating them, and you both died at the same time eating each other.
You could challenge them to like an eat-off.
I don't feel like I understand MOBAs at all.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's it. That's why these.
Ethan he's like a Virgin war correspondent. He wants to go into the into the deep MOBA jungle, and he wants to see the atrocities for himself.
Like, I want to see
that is the greatest idea. You just made an idea. Copyright joshlee.com 2013.
Yeah, I want to see you play live, but I also want you to just report in after your first match, your third match.
Oliver Bone, we'll call him.
Yes, Justin. Yes, I was. Yes, someone just. Yes, I can confirm someone is going to fuck my mother.
Jesus.
I made a poor decision, and yes, that is going to happen. Back to you. We should do that, dude. That would be, because it is, man. It's I don't know. I don't know. It's scary.
Well, I'm up for the challenge, but I'm not going in alone. So you let us know how it goes, and then we'll set up another night to get everybody else involved.
I think you should wait for a new MOBA and get it on the ground floor.
But
and become
I don't want to be part of it.
No, I want you to be the asshole. That's the only way you'll know. You're never going to become the asshole in Dota.
That's phase 2.
You won't be good enough. But if you can get in early and you say like, oh, I'm playing it, and you just talk about the mechanics and shit, and you'll say, for the most part, people aren't that bad or whatever. And then a couple months later, we'll check back in, and you'll be the biggest asshole. No, and then you'll know.
Act 1 is him trying to play Dota and just getting crushed, and just his spirits are down, and then a new game comes out.
Like the Batman MOBA.
Yeah, and he just like goes to the top of esports with that game and just becomes the asshole. Like, he becomes hated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in my code, man.
And then
this is what I just said.
But then at some point he's crushed. and he falls back down to earth.
It's gonna talk. Is this another Rock? You keep putting
This is
Rocky on
Rocky.
him. You did this last year with him.
And then what? The final act is him just bouncing back and playing Heroes of New Earth casually and just having fun, and meeting his future ex-wife while playing it.
And
Is it the wife that I never married?
Yeah, it's your online gaming wife.
And then will you have like a robot maid? I hope during this that knows how to go get you a Coca-Cola. Coke
Gotta have like a
Classic.
kind of a drunk friend that loses all my money at some point.
Yeah. Was that his uncle?
Well, that's how you fall. Like he somehow like bankrupts your online account for the Batman MOBA.
So after I come back from so what country are the best at MOBAs? I'm going to throw
is that
Russia out there because Rocky IV was in Russia, but there's
it's
got to be
not
a country
Korea.
I can go.
It's not Korea.
I bet it's somewhere in Europe. I bet, but I think the American teams are decent, but they're probably.
But I'm in Europe, so I would go to America. But I need an Apollo Creed.
They
guy.
might be Dutch, actually. I think there's like really good Dutch teams.
I've heard Russia too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Russians. Oh
Russia.
yeah, so yeah, you're gonna need Can it be Dutch? It just needs to be a black guy, or what? What's the criteria for your Apollo?
It's really, I know that Ethan MOBA 4 is going to be awesome.
Ethan MOBA 5, not so much. We appreciate the direction they went with it, and then Ethan MOBA 6. He's kind of fucking.
The final is just Moses.
Yeah, he'll play against like the world's greatest. The one time like world's greatest like MOBA player, and then after he plays him, then he gets like shunned by the other MOBA community because they think that he has a sexually transmitted disease, and they don't want to get that on the internet. And then it turns out like after his career is ruined that he didn't actually have that. It's Tommy Morrison. That's Rocky 5 though, not 4.
Yeah, we didn't need to go to 5. Could have ended after beating the
Real sad.
Russian MOBA player that's on HGH, and somehow that helps you with MOBAs.
I could see, because you definitely got to be strong.
What's
Real tough. You got to be tough.
What's the Ethan Moses movie then? Like after
MOBAs.
Yeah. And then you can come back and make your Expendables. Okay.
It's just me playing a bunch of different parts, like the Nutty Professor.
No, it's you.
What?
No, it's
That's not how.
yes. Wait. Yes and no. It's you leading a group of Ethan lookalikes that are actually all of your created characters.
I've already had this. I mean, this is an idea that's constantly running through my head.
I know that Brass Carlson's going to turn on you. I'm just saying.
I don't even know what analogy we're making right now. Like, I don't even know where to go with
Tentacles
it.
It's Expendables.
Josh, do you have anything else?
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to have anything else?
I want you to make one more.
Well,
or steal one of mine.
I'll see if you have anything good worth talking about here. What's it? What the hell is that retro console that just came out? Retro 5?
There's the 5, and then there was another one that had like 15 I was reading about today.
Wait, no. That was
Project Unity?
No.
Is that something?
That was a dude. I think that's one of Ben Heck's competitors.
Okay.
For internet cred.
That's actually the article that spawned this, because then I started thinking about
Not for business. No.
The Retro N5 or whatever it's called.
Have you ever... Well, yeah, you had a retro duo,
I have
right?
a duo.
Give you fits. Okay, so the discussion here. Real consoles versus these all-in-one knockoffs that people make today.
Retro consoles.
Yeah. The retro. The fact that they use the word retro in it obviously means that it's...
Awesome.
Authentic. Okay. Keep going. You might find a word I was actually thinking of. Were you going to say poop next? Because I was going to say poop. No?
No.
Yeah, we've had a lot of problems with that duo.
We
had issues.
We had issues, but it was day one using it. I haven't really tried it.
What is there to figure out?
I don't know.
Like, well, I didn't look at the manual. You have to. There's some dip switches. Like, no, you're supposed to be able to plug it in and go. What did it have break-in time?
Yes,
like good speakers.
Break-in time, and then we were trying to use a converter for the live stream.
No, that wasn't
for the first time.
That had nothing to do with it.
And then my favorite part was about the 15th or 16th time we put the cartridge in. It worked. No explanation.
Right.
So, but they're easy to buy. They're everywhere. They're cheap.
Like I don't care about the fact that it's not the actual hardware. Like there's some emulation going on. Like I like emulators. They're great. They're convenient and you can play the shit however you want. Playing on the original hardware on that stuff is cool especially when you can easily use the original controllers. But man, I have no love for those all-in-ones. I've never seen one that was universally praised as like, hey, this thing works a lot of the time. Like I've never seen anyone say that about any of those. So until that happens,
they're just
they
seem to be everywhere. Like I feel they have to be working for somebody, right?
No, they don't because they're so cheap. Like, and it's hard to find good and good-looking working versions
of the
alternative,
though,
originals.
I was gonna say the alternative is upkeep on an original, which
not that hard, really. I mean, with the NES, like everyone can do the little pin swap mod. I mean, it's no big deal.
Do people actually play retro games? Like actually play them, or do they just take pictures of themselves playing them and then put it on Reddit and say, "Hey, look what I'm doing! Oh, just had to break out my Jedi Knight."
They play. They play.
Bioshock Infinite's out, but I got to get my Jedi Knight on. Come on,
you ass
jackasses.
I was gonna say no.
Yeah,
there are people that play them, and then when they see you playing them worse than they play them, they're gonna rip you apart. Those are the people.
I mean, I go back. And I play certain games, but I think for the most part, I don't really care about playing some by myself, especially playing like Super Nintendo or Nintendo or something.
I mean, you and I still have
an
assorted collection of retro games. Do you care? Do you care about your collection at all in that regard?
I like having some of the stuff, being able to just kind of look at it and go and just remember all that. Like I feel like if I didn't have those physical objects anymore, even just to look at on a shelf once every 6 months, I feel like I might lose some of the memories, or I would just never recall them again. I mean, as we talk about those games less and less, and if I have no visual cues, like there's just really, really fond childhood memories that'll just be lost forever. So that doesn't sound good. Therefore, I'm going to keep all that stuff around, even if I don't play it. I will say this, though. I know other people probably feel the same way. I feel this way about some like Sega stuff, although less these days, but more the arcade stuff, is that there's a lot of old games that I never experienced when they came out, and experiencing some of the better ones sound like a good time to me. So, there are those kids that never had a Super Nintendo, so they've never played Link to the Past or Super Metroid or Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3 and stuff like that. So, but if they still have an appreciation for stuff from that era, they could absolutely go back and play that stuff now and have a good time with it. And that sounds like fun, but how are you going to do that? Like, you should probably play it on Virtual Console or emulate, or if you can find cheaply the original stuff, absolutely go for it. But even then, like, you're going to have problems with the video output looking like crap unless you spend $800 on, XGB minis and doing, sound mods and all this kind of crap on your stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people that are dedicated to that, making those originals look as good as possible. And I just have, like, on my computer that's hooked up to my TV downstairs, I've got BSNES running, and I've got adapters for my controllers for USB, and it says like it's done, and now it looks great, plays great, uses original stuff. It's the same thing. So, but it's out there, and with the arcade stuff, I wanted a project, and that's going to be fun. But there's a ton of arcade games that I never got to play that I know I'm going to really like. And so I'm kind of excited to... I actually will play those games. It's not just going to be something... I won't post on Reddit about it, Ethan. PS1 is retro.
I think so.
I'm answering that question for posed in the chat by you, Justin.
Yeah, we're debating on
Like,
whether or
who
not...
said that? Oh, it's you.
Debating whether or not Jedi Knight was retro, and that was kind of the PS1 era. So,
Well, yeah. First Jedi Knight. Hey, if it looks like ass, it's retro.
well...
Well,
Or retro
have you-
styled,
I was
I
going to
guess.
say, have you been on Kickstarter recently? Project Greenlight.
Mm.
All right.
that's a Matt Damon joint. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck had Project Greenlight.
Wait a minute.
You mean Steam Greenlight?
That
Good catch.
was called Greenlight?
Yeah.
Yeah, Project Greenlight.
I
yeah.
remember that, though, yeah. Well, holy shit.
I got
that was-
really excited. I thought we were going to start talking about that, but then I realized.
Were there any good movies that came out of that? What? Well, that's a legitimate
I
question.
have no idea. Cole would know.
Yeah, Cole would know.
Hey, I think it's about the time that he can podcast now. Specific time zone guy. Anyway,
9:30?
Tentacle Suit on the Action Pack, round 3. Thanks, gentlemen. Gonna get out of here with HorribleNight.com updates. Oh,
I got you. Oop, you didn't write anything down. Don't. Go ahead.
I'm excited. Josh has a new segment for Super Gaming Best Friends next week.
Oh, man,
we-
I want to do something.
We ran out of time for it today, but a new take on our question and answer sessions. So tune in for Super Gaming Best Friends next week. Get to get caught up with Josh's games.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, still trying to still just focus on our streaming schedule. I had a little bit of a curveball in the form of BioShock Infinite, in that I still don't feel like that's kind of right to stream, especially like where I'm at in the game.
Nope.
So I've been playing that offline. It's kind of gotten in my way of my normal streaming time. But Ethan and I are trying to stream most every day and during the weekends. So tune into Twitch for combination of current games, retro games, and also multiplayer games. Trying to get at least one of those multiplayer sessions in a week. Of course, PlanetSide 2 kind of being our go-to game right now, and Defiance, I would say. But we're going to try out some others. Jump in on Dota with us, and especially if you want to learn to play that game along with us, because we're going to be very lost and confused and make it look harder than it probably really is. Or maybe it really is that hard, or maybe we're just not good at video games. I'm still coming to grips with that. I will also be continuing my playthrough of the Resident Evil remake. So that first session went really well, and I'm going to try to do that at least once a week. So look for me Thursday or Friday night playing the Resident Evil remake.
You need to figure out a way to get Ethan on there. I need some Ethan commentary for anything Resident Evil. I know his appreciation runs way deeper than you or I.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have survived. I don't know if you would have survived that first playthrough.
I watched some of it.
I mean,
You had a good time.
I
You
did.
had fun.
I did. We even got like chat bombed.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
By the
sorry,
biggest loser on the planet.
I'm not speed running these games. I'm playing them for the first time in years and enjoying them, and I think chat did too. But we got kind of dive bombed by a speedrunner that told us we had no place on the
Hey, if
internet.
you can't hang with big boys, get off the Twitch.
Yeah.
God, that guy's got a sad life. Sorry. Whoops.
And then once we kind of get settled in here again,
He's right. It's Verdian's in the chat. I'm just kidding. Shout out. That's a little shout out.
you can check back to our Twitch channel. We'll have a schedule up for when you can kind of anticipate our upcoming shows, and then from there look for more members of Horrible Night to stream in the near future.
I want to put a feeler out for some streams. If you want to see it, speak up. I have a sizable collection of classic PC games from GOG.com. If you want to see some of those,
Daikatana.
then Daikatana's not on GOG, but I have several physical copies. If you want to see any of the old stuff, let me know, because I have a bunch of it, and I can get more because it's cheap, real cheap. So let me know.
And then, as usual, continuing to post original editorial material on HorribleNight.com on a daily basis, and our writers to get back in full force, so more content coming your way there, and ongoing daily live video highlights on our YouTube channel, and also our podcasts. The video versions are going up every week, so help support us by subscribing and telling your other gaming friends. We'd appreciate it.
And non-gaming friends.
Potentially.
Because they know people that game that aren't you, and they may tell them.
If Ethan doesn't scare them off.
You think
No, everyone likes me a lot.
I don't think it'll
actually.
be him. I don't think it's him.
Yeah, might be our host. That's gonna do it for. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the Horrible Show. So, Josh, good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. That was fun.
Ethan, always fun.
Yeah, I've had a great time.
Chat. Thank you.
Has your hair been standing up like that the whole time?
No.
It's over the course of the podcast. It's kinda
Greasing
made
up.
its way up.
Tentacle suit. We're done.